Normal Friday for us. Whatever you guys got.
Barring a step back, you feel good about Kenny being able to play this week?
Yeah. I mean, he's had 2 days. We'll see how he does today, but I'm optimistic that he should be ready to go. But we'll go through one more day and see if anything happens.
Shane and Flott, same boat.
They're in the same boat, yeah. So all 3 of those guys will be questionable, and then Neal and Bellinger will be out.
You have the 3 guys: Parrott, Rodarius, Shane.
Yep.
You going to activate any of those?
I think that's a conversation we'll have after today's practice. I'd say we could. We could one. We could do all 3. We could do none. We'll talk about that after today's practice.
At inside linebacker.
Yeah.
What are you looking for from the spot where Tay and Micah are rotating?
Yeah. I think again it depends on what we have in the packages that Wink calls. But again, a linebacker's job is to do a good job of diagnosing run pass, gap control, and then making tackles in a run game, and then coverage in the pass game.
So you flipped those roles in the last game. What that made you do that? What did you see from Jalen being the mic?
Yeah, we thought that was the best thing for us that week, and I'd say he's done everything we've asked him to do. I think he's feels comfortable playing there. He did a good job for us.
I don't know, spark or lift has it been finding Fabian Moreau, a number 2 corner who was released obviously by the team you're playing this week?
Yeah, no, he's done a good job for us. I know we've talked about him earlier a couple weeks ago. Instinctive veteran that's really done a good job in our defense of playing the things we've asked him to play, and he's tackled well, made plays on the ball, covered well. He's been a good addition.
You've been very consistent about being very consistent. Do you feel like your players have bought into that? I mean, so that a 1-6-1 Houston looks the same as at Dallas on Thanksgiving. It all kind of looks the same to them.
Yeah, I think that's a good question for them. I know that's what we preach day in and day out here. Myself, the coaches, Joe, his staff, is just be as consistent as we can and concentrate on the stuff we can control and focus on the things to get better that day.
There was a stat that I think Dameon Pierce leads the league in broken tackles. Is there something you can tell your players about a guy who breaks tackles?
Tackle them well, run to the ball, get as many hats on them as we can, defeat blockers up front. We've talked about, it seems like a lot of good players each week. He's one of them. He's done a good job as a young player. He's got great balance and body control vision, doesn't dance a whole lot. Creates issues for defenders, runs with power, aggressiveness. He's a good football player.
Do you look at Landon Collins as somebody who could help fill the McKinney void, or is he more of an inside linebacker?
Yeah, he's been more the down closer to the line of scrimmage than rather back for us. But you never know.
The majority of this season, you guys have kind of been the team that the masses outside of here kind of looked past in terms of the underdog. You know what I mean? This week, that's kind of the flip, where the Texans are going into this one as the underdog. Do you have to talk to your players at all about the change in role?
No, because I think it goes back to the consistency approach. Every team in this league is good. Any team can win any given day. If you play well, you put yourself as having a chance to win. It doesn't guarantee anything, and if you play lousy, you're probably going to lose. And we just focus on the things that we need to do each week. Some of them are consistent. They never change based on who we're playing. Some of them are game plan specific, and if we hit those marks, we give ourselves a chance, and if we don't, we lose. Pretty simple.
Right.
What do you like about Terrell Burgess, guy you just picked up at safety?
Yeah, he was a fairly high draft pick. I think he's got some athletic ability. It'd be good just to get him out here and see how he operates in our offense, or our defense, excuse me. I met him, a short amount of time, so seems like a good young man. Put him in our stuff and let him see how he does.
You've praised the home fans a lot this year. Now you got 4 out of 5 at home. What can they do for you in this key stretch?
Well, we have to do it to give them something to be loud about. Again, I've been impressed with just the people around this community and how they support the team, and it helps when you're on defense and it's loud, and great false start penalties or timing issues off the snap count. So very appreciative for their support.
Texans have obviously really struggled against the run this year. They're last in that category. When you go up in a matchup like this, is it just like and you've done well in the running game. It's just like, okay, let's just see if they could stop us at this point, and then double work from there.
Yeah, no, good question, fair question too. I think anytime you look at the stats and where everybody is, you just think, boy, all right, this team should run it. This team has trouble stopping it. And I think that each week you're trying to improve. I know I'll speak for our team, improve on things that we're not doing as well. And you anticipate that from every other team. We're not. There's going to be extra guys down in the box. There has been the whole year. We're going to have to do a good job of blocking them, blocking the stuff that they do, which, they create some problems too. I know they've given up some big ones. Henry had some big ones, but again, Henry made 3 guys miss in a hole. It could have been tackled for a 2-yard gain. Instead, it goes for 40 yards. So, running with the ball well, making people miss in space, handling their movement, which they move a bunch. They got some quick guys up front. They're, got some good veterans too that know how to do it. Every week's a challenge regardless. I don't get involved in this team ranks here or this team ranks here because each week's different. You'd like to do what you do well, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So you have to have an answer to, hey, they have so many guys down there, we just can't get it going. You better be able to do, you better be able to pass it and run it based on how they play and how you're playing too.
Brian, just to follow up on that, how much are you intensely or putting in stuff that maybe you want to improve on in games? Like how often are you doing that?
We do that every week.
Yeah. Intentionally doing that.
Yeah, we do that every week. I'll show something, either at the beginning of the week and, hey, these are some of the things that we've done well. Here are some of the things we can work on. Again, it starts with your team and doing the things that you can do well and improving on the things you're not doing well. Then that goes into, okay, what's the matchups you're playing against? How does this team play their defense or how do they play their offense or their kicking game? I think this is probably the best kicking game unit we've played all year for Houston. So we got our work cut out first in that area.
Couple more. You can see in this league, you get to mid-season, a lot of teams run short on the offensive line. They start losing the numbers game. You guys have kind of made a priority, really from the summer, to kind of lengthen your unit, using the practice squad, having guys that are options. Do you feel that going forward here in the second half that you're in a good spot right now? Obviously not to jinx anything, but you've absorbed injuries, but you still have guys that are there that you can look at and say, all right, maybe that guy is a good option down the road.
I think Joe and his staff have done a good job of adding to that position. You can never have too many. I think we have guys we can work with, whether on the practice squad or down the line guys that are on the roster. It'd be nice to get Evan back when he can get back. So you knock on wood, you hope they stay healthy. It's an important position for any football team.
Would Adori's...
Did you just ask something and then you jumped? No. I was like messing me up for a second here because I thought...
Which one do you prefer?
No, you go. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's see who wins. Let's see who's more competitive.
Yeah, you couldn't see me out there?
No, it was like the voice came out and I'm like, who did it come from?
Crowd noise.
That's
exactly right.
Would Adori's importance to your defense stop you from putting him back at punt return?
No. We'll see how that goes with who we put back there, but that one, he's been a good returner in the past, and if we think that's the best thing for our team, we would use him.
How do you balance that?
Last one.
How do you balance that? Where, if you have a player that's so important on one side of the ball, then using them on specials, not using them on specials.
I'd say every play is important. I've coached receivers. I coached a guy by the name of Troy Brown, who was a leading receiver for me when I was a coach, and he's back there returning all these punts. We see Patterson returning kickoffs yesterday. You put your best guys that you think are going to give you the best chance back there. So whoever that is, that's what we'll go with.
Can I get that one that I was...
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bonus.
There
goes some noises.
It was 2 weeks ago, but Leonard Williams had a sack and 5 quarterback hits against the Seahawks. How disruptive was he when you look back at that, and do you see him maybe...
Look back at Seattle? That's a long time ago. I just keep hoping he keeps improving. It's good to have him out there. I'll say that. Been a productive player when he's been out there. Him and Dex inside. They present some problems when they're playing at the top of their game. It's good to have them. It's good to have them out here.